Hello, everybody. E here. Welcome back to another writing stream with my homie Chad Lutzke. We are currently in the process of writing a collaborative novel called Planet Caravan. I don't even know. I haven't even asked how far along we got to be close to. We got to be over 50K at this point,
Well,
right?
we keep getting to 50, and then
And
I
then
go
they
and
have to go
revise, and we keep dropping down.
yeah, because reason I've been so in my own head lately. I am basically just going through the motions here, and this is when I would normally word vomit just to get it over with, and then come back and rewrite. The problem is Chad is having to clean this up as I go along, so I'm trying to do less of that. At the same time, I don't know how to stop at this point. I don't know if the most recent stuff is better. I don't think it is, but I'm trying. Um, but I am now 100% back on this project. Everything else is done or in stasis until editing is done. So, and all of the entire 31 days of Halloween are shot and uploaded, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. 100% back on this, so hopefully I can get my head back in the game. This weekend, I plan on reading. I plan is the operative word. Allegedly, I'm going to be reading the entire thing from the ground up just to refresh my memory of everything that's going on. Hopefully, get back into the swing of things. Me and Chad had some discussions about the main character. I had one thought in mind for the way he reacts to certain things. Chad had another. And since I don't care, we're just going to go with what Chad had. It's more along the lines of consistency of character and character acceptance and motivation and so on and so forth. So we were talking about that off camera, and I have a lot to read. He did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He did 9 pages, and I need to read through all of that before I take my break and then come back and start work again. So, um, is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Also, I had to take a. I didn't even tell you this. I was going to tell you this. It was such a rough day yesterday. I woke up this morning and my heart was pounding and my brain was all over the place. And the only reason I got to sleep last night is I had a gummy. And I had to take a anti-anxiety pill this morning because as soon as I woke up, I was having a fucking panic attack. In fact, I think that's what woke me up. I woke up gasping and out of breath. That's with my damn CPAP on my face, like I was being chased or some shit. And so I'm a little bit out of it this morning, but I'm trying to hone in, and especially once I get in here and start writing, I should be fine because I can take my mind off the bullshit and I can escape into Shane's world for a bit. But anyways, so I'm gonna get started reading. Is there anything you want to talk about in front of the? Oh, hang on. The reason for this, I know this is episode 31 or whatever, episode 32. It's episode 32, but the whole point of this series is to show the behind the scenes, how we are doing our collab. That does not mean that all collabs happen this way, but just to show you guys how a collaborative effort will come out in the end, or how we go about talking things out, problems, all that stuff. Another thing these streams are for is just for you guys to chill and hang out. For some odd reason, people find it very comforting to sit and listen to us type and talk. So I find that awesome. But also, if you want to get your own work done, your own writing, your own art, your own whatever, while you're working with us, we give you a chill session so you can get your own stuff done. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump over here and start reading. Oh, I was gonna do something with this. I don't know. It's cool that you left it. I was gonna do something with this about his hands, and I can't remember what the hell it was. That he didn't wash them off. He just wiped them off. I was gonna do
We
something with
don't. We
that.
already wrote it. It's right up above,
What is it?
and you wrote it again. Um, right here. There's a dingy blue cloth streaked with grime over his shoulder. He tugs it off, tosses to me. I clean the grease off my hands best I can, then toss the rag back.
Yeah, but I was gonna do something about about the grease being on his hands, and I can't remember what it was. Like later that day, I was gonna do something, and I
Mm.
can't remember. Anyways, I don't guess it matters. So I repeated myself. That's wonderful. Um.
That's why I say the cloth instead of
Yeah,
describing it. Or
I got you.
actually, might even have to take that out because he just got done cleaning his hands off.
Maybe. I don't know. One of them's got to go. If I repeated it, then...
Well, we work on the wheel for the better part of the morning, so they go back at it. So maybe not.
Okay. I mean, you only grease the wheel once, and the gondolas do not require greasing. It's all internal. It's kind of like a car engine.
Probably there's no sense in having this. Probably just
Yeah, just get rid of whichever one you want.
maybe.
Oh, you took out my porterhouse joke. God damn it.
Because I got confused. I did this on live stream. I was like,
I don't care, Chad.
So I because when I hear the words, when I hear Sydney spelt like that, I think of Sidney Poitier.
That it, yeah.
And so I'm thinking, but I've never heard of Sydney. So I Google it. And I'm like, I did this on live stream.
Oh, that's even better. I gotta go back and watch the
I go,
replay.
who the frick is Sidney Porterhouse? I got to find out more about this guy to find out what his voice sounds like, you know?
I'm sorry.
So,
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing at you, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
so I was like, you know what? He's talking about.
I'm talking about
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
Which I think I spelled wrong right here, or one of us. Isn't it spelled with a Y?
No, I think it's
No, yeah, you see it's spelled right. Okay.
Portier. I think.
Well, I meant his first name.
Oh yeah. Oh okay yeah. No, it's definitely not a Y instead of an I. All right. A Regal Beagle. I like that.
Do you know what that is?
I very vaguely.
Okay. It is the. First of all, that's the name of my camper. That's the name I gave. We own a camper.
Okay.
And I named the Regal Beagle is the name of the bar that everybody frequents in Three's Company.
Oh, that's where I know it from, because that's one of my favorite shows of all time. We were
Me
talking
too.
about this at one point in time. We were talking about Farley and all that stuff.
And when I think of Mingo, I also think of Larry.
Yeah.
From Three's Company.
Mm-hmm. I know. I vibe with it. We've talked about this
Chest
before.
hair,
I know.
the
Yeah.
gold chains,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
womanizing. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I thought it'd be cool to give him a name.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Yeah. I remember that's where I know it from. I was like, I know I've heard it before, and that's where I've heard it before is Three's Company.
I still watch that show. I got the DVDs.
Anytime if I come across it, like if I'm scrolling through something and I'll see it like on, let's just say Hulu, you know, that kind of thing, because I don't have regular TV or cable or anything. If I come across it, I will sit down and watch my favorite episodes. I will 100% watch it anytime I see it. Another one that is super, for the longest time, it was like number 2 under Howard the Duck for me, and that was Stay Tuned.
It's called what? Stay tuned.
Stay Tuned. It's about John Ritter and his family being sucked into TV, and he goes from game shows to westerns to all. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anyway, don't get that shit stuck in my head. I'll be singing it all day. Anyways, but yeah, the Stay Tuned is absolutely amazing, and it's he gets sucked into an alternate reality kind of TV thing. So instead of like Leave It to Beaver, it's like Leave It to Satan kind of deal. It's very it's very quirky and weird, and you got to watch it. I believe it's on Tubi. I believe I have it saved on Tubi. You got to check it out. It's called Stay Tuned. It's one of John Ritter's best movies, in my opinion. But you also have to realize that it is on the same tier as Howard the Duck. Okay, for me. Like, it is that wacky and wild and over the top that I love it with my entire heart.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. So I may not like I love John Ritter, but it's because I love Jack Ritter. I love generator but it's because I love Jack Tripper.
Yeah, I got you. I literally, you probably cut it out. Maybe you didn't. I literally had this conversation with him and Carla. The under the table meant.
I saw it later. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny that you thought to put it in here.
I had put that in there, and then I saw that your thing in there, and I was like, well, I'll either leave the one that I just put, or I will have him ask the question later since it's brought up again. Did you just throw a semicolon in here?
No, I did not. I changed. I was literally changing. Oh, that's supposed to be T. You probably hit that instead, or not. I don't know. I didn't put that there. No.
Do you use semicolons?
Not with you. I haven't used colons either, just because of the stuff that you said earlier in this process.
Okay, I didn't leave a comment here. This different colored section.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading now.
I didn't change this because what was it? I need
It's what you said in the other one was him getting a raise already. That's because the operators are one tier above the Rousties. Actually, they're pretty far up there. They're even above the concession stand people. So, in fact, it's probably still too little for running a ride by yourself. And that is now his ride, especially since Boobs is going to be training him to work on it. It is now his ride and his entire responsibility. So there would be a pay raise there. Or maybe we could do a probationary period. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Probationary period makes sense because I would assume that because Mingo takes people in so easily, I could see him getting screwed over a lot, so he never knows who's going to truly work out or not.
Gotcha. All right, so let me do this. We need to cut this too, right? Because he didn't tell him how much. The $2. Oh, Shane, my boy, I promise you, Gummy's making more than $2 an hour. Buzz only gave you that, so we could cut this bit because you cut out the him telling Mingo That see, but that's kind of what I was talking about. That uncertainty and that hiding is kind of what I was talking about. Like how Shane flip flops. You know, sometimes he's aggressive and that kind of, well, not aggressive, but he stands up for himself, and other times he just kind of, kind of backs away. And maybe it's because he's aggressive to the people that do not respect him or do not like him, like Buzzard, but with someone like Mingo, he's willing to take a step back. That kind of thing. I don't know. But
The frick.
a parenthetical from Chad Lutzke?
I
Or
did.
do you just
I
want to?
did that because I wanted to put a small reminder in there because from now on it'll just be the Regal Beagle.
Okay,
I felt like it maybe needed that
that's
extra,
fine.
you know, from now on, no more his trailer. It'll be like the Beagle or the Regal Beagle.
I got you. So the parenthetical is like hitherto referred to as, without saying all that shit.
Yes. Yep. I think that some of this early dialogue, I think we need to work on her dialogue because it gets a little bit more broken as it goes on. Because I kind of followed your lead. I realized,
Yeah.
oh, okay, he's
She
breaking this up a little bit, but when she first starts talking, she doesn't really. It's not like
Right,
that.
right. She's becoming more comfortable with him. I was actually going to tackle that at some point, but now that she gets snatched, right after this kind of thing, I didn't have a chance to. But I was going to lean into the fact that the more comfortable she gets with him, the more her accent and her verbiage changes. She'll drop more Spanish and so on and so forth. Honestly, I was actually expecting you to want to cut all of it and just go with none of it. But once again, I'm not cemented to it. I was just kind of not casually, but naturally going with the whatchamacallit.
Well, it
Yeah.
makes sense. It makes sense to put in words that your average person probably knows or can figure it out. I
Yeah.
didn't. I want to alienate. I didn't want to do a Gabino Iglesias thing where
Oh, I know. Yeah.
we have a bunch of stuff in here, but
Like
things
whole
like
paragraphs in Spanish that have no
hermano.
translation.
Yeah.
I'll see how much you kept. I'm going. Ah, you took out my dun 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 dun.
After learning about the fact that almost everybody over where she's from is Mayan, in my head, that circle
Uh huh.
um, is from some Mayan thing, and then she ripped it off when she moved to the States, and now she's a
Yeah.
Catholic.
So, oh, not only that, but it could be, she doesn't want to get pulled over and, whatever.
Yeah. I was thought about using. I've been using the word little in here, and I thought about using what is it?
Paquito?
Pequeño.
No, Paquito. For
Okay, well,
something small.
pequeño is small. Well, one of them's little, one of them's small.
It depends on whether it's masculine or female.
Right, but
Uh,
there's a word for small, and then there's a word for little.
I
and they're
got you.
two different words. Pequeño is one of them.
Okay. Yeah.
But I didn't want to. Again, I didn't want to. I wanted a hint, more of a hint there, rather than someone go, I don't know what he's. I don't know what she's saying. I think everybody knows what pendejo is.
Yeah.
This part after she starts laughing is where she starts to sound Spanish,
Cool.
like you wound too tight. That's when her English starts becoming broken,
Yeah.
and then in another draft we'll go up and match her earlier
Right.
dialogue with
Yeah.
that.
I like that. And instead of calling, I mean, she also naturally instead goes from like young buck. Yeah, she still sprinkles it in there, but now it's like mi hermano. Also, it's like you're not just young buck. You're like my brother, kind of deal. The closer they get. And I hope you caught. I haven't got to any of it, but whenever she says it is. She just says is. I don't know if you cut that or not. That wasn't a typo. I wasn't sure if you're going to catch that or not.
I'm sure I left it because I yeah, that broken English or whatever
Yeah.
that.
She's just more comfortable with him. That's the way I was going with it, and it's cool that you followed along. That's awesome.
5 or 9 times.
What?
5 or 9 times.
Yeah. I had a buddy who used to do that. He would be like, 7 or 15 times, something like that.
It reminds me. Have you ever seen that movie? What was that movie called? Is it called Basketball?
Yes, I've seen that. Oh my god, that movie.
There's a scene where I can't remember. I've only seen it once,
Mm,
but I laughed so hard. There's a scene where somebody is doing something to somebody else. Like I don't know if they're hitting them in the head or whatever. They're like, if you do that 19 or 20 more times, I'm quitting the team or whatever.
yeah.
And so when I see something like this, 5 or 9,
Jenny McCarthy in that movie is so underrated. The shit that they have her doing, like I bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose, and she's trying, and I bet you could lick the chrome off a trailer hitch, and she's doing every single time. That movie just oh. Have you ever seen Orgasmo?
yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that one, yeah, that's another. Anyways,
Yeah, my favorite bits are with not Trey, but the other Matt.
yeah,
I think it is when
Matt,
he's like, "Not sound gay or nothing," but and then he'll throw in
yeah,
something that's totally gay.
yeah. Doesn't sound gay or anything, but I really want to suck your dick. I love that fucking movie so much.
I'm not a big South Park fan, but I really did like Orgasmo and
Yeah. I like Team
e-
America too.
even
All their
oh
movies are
yeah,
great. All their movies. America,
yeah,
fuck yeah. Coming
yeah.
along
That
to save
was
the motherfucking day, yeah.
funny. Even Cannibal the Musical was funny.
Yes, yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that was like their first one, wasn't it?
I'm not
It was
sure. It's a
early.
trauma movie though.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know. Pick one. I don't know if we should cut this or not.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know. Probably because I
Let's
wrote it, but I was about to say I
Hank.
like this one better than.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll up and get rid of. Yeah. There's no explanation about the man up above. I just said where he's good, damn good for under the table. It's funny because when you put uno mas, I'm
Yeah.
like at one point in here I'm like I've got to do the uno mas thing because most people know what that is too. And then I saw you put it in there. I was like, okay, you already did it.
Yep. Oh.
Okay.
Ah, damn it! I thought I did that. Okay,
What?
never mind. I just realized I never went back and changed it. Um, I had her say Jesus and then him say Jesus also, instead of having her say it spell it the right way. Whatever. Anyways,
This
you
is how
fixed
you
it.
had.
I just
This is how
forgot to
you had it.
this. They was so I did go back. I did
Yeah,
go back.
you had her say that you put the word uh, Jesus how it's spelled,
Right.
but then you had him say his name was Jesus. He says it wrong, or he says it right, but in his head it's wrong. It's
So she didn't write out "Hey Zeus" the first time
no.
because okay, so I must have went back and fixed it. Okay. Oh wow. Next chapter. Much better. God damn. Mickey got that bukkake. Okay. Jesus. Little details I like. How about just I avoid the question instead of I try and yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Excited about how many rocks he got in the can. Yeah, I was wondering. I was literally reading that. Okay, trying to figure out how to reword it. Ew. Wonder if it's pink when it comes out. Oh, that's sneaky. Good one. Oh, I love this. The way he guesses all the names of the people he's closest with.
Hmm.
It's really good. Himself, then Shibby, then Bruce. That's good. Boobies.
I threw the "Love You, Cassidy" in there because um, the next phone call, I thought it would be cool to have Cassidy say, "You're not coming back, are you?" And he's like, "I didn't say that." He's like, "You told me you love me."
Yeah, yeah. That's good. I like that.
Like,
Nice.
so you picture Cassidy thinking this whole time, why did he say that? He
Yeah.
doesn't. He never says that.
Gives Cassidy a lot more credit, a lot more intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. So what do we need to do next? Um,
Um.
I'm excited.
Uh. I don't know. I stopped there. I don't even know what this section is.
The next section is jumping into. Wait a second.
Oh, that's right. We've got to have. We don't have. We've got to have a. Like he hasn't actually worked the. He hasn't done anything yet. Like the fair or the carnival has not been open. They got there. We've been writing some stuff out of order, so I'm a little confused.
Yeah, there's a whole section missing where. Hang on. So we need a glue section to get to the point where the raid begins.
Yeah, like
At
we need
least
to
one or
have.
two chapters.
I think we've done well with uh, the camaraderie between the relationship that's starting to be established with Carla, and
Hmm.
the fact that it'll be heartbreaking to see her go, particularly because of her family. And but they haven't. I mean,
Yeah, because we went back in time to build up the relationship, and now we need to.
now we need to have a night where, because they're opening tonight, right?
Right.
Are
Yeah.
they open the day that they get there?
Yes. They well it actually all depends. Sometimes it'll be like the day before and they'll have a downtime.
Yeah.
But all these rides and everything can be up within hours. So it's not that big of a deal to get the things put up. Um, but I mean we can have another day where they we could even we could make it 2 days. I mean it all depends if we need extra time. Um whatever it takes. If you want to think about it while I'm on break, because I
Yeah. Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
get out of this chair. But if you want to think about it, and I'll think about it too. So, all right, I'll be back in 15.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my idea right off the jump. What if we just do a simple time jump into the next day, have him go back, them get back, him be exhausted because he's already spent all morning working, he's gone into town, everything, and Mingo says, all right, we're going to open in a little while, go ahead and catch your Z's or whatever. And then we can just jump into either the next day or a short scene where he does clean up after the fair, not fair, you got me saying fair now too, after the carnival closes, something like that. I don't know. That's my only idea. I was even thinking about having some kind of confrontation where Buzz gives him shit and Carla comes to his rescue this time or something. And it was not even like it shows, Carla just like, and I'm not sure I even like this, but more along the lines of just getting him out of a sticky situation with Buzz. Is like, hey, come help me with this over here. And, just pulls him away from Buzz before something can escalate. I don't know. Those are my two ideas.
Okay. The idea I had was that we move the baseball card scene where Mingo says you can't stay here tonight, and we move that up to today, when they get back from the store and stuff.
Okay.
And so, because we've got to really establish, this would be a good opportunity because they're not doing anything. They're kind of on and so I think we need to use that to really develop this relationship between Shane and Sam.
Okay.
And so have them kind of like do a romantic platonic, or should I say non-sexual romantic evening out under the stars. They talk about the day tomorrow. Are you scared? Blah blah blah. Whatever the conversation leads to, and they just end up staying outside, by themselves. Because he has to go. He can't go back there anyway. He's not sure. He's like, well, I could sleep in the cab, in the truck cab, but they just end up. I mean, it's a little reminiscent of the scene in Foster Homes and Flies where Sam does this same thing with a boy much younger than her.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no, there's no love thing. It was just like, this is an older female emotionally being here for a broken boy who wants to tell her, my mom is dead and I haven't done anything about it.
Well, do you want to write that section and I can carry on doing something else? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're all caught up now, so you can write a new scene.
Well, not really. There's a lot here that I haven't.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying really up until I don't know. Hang on.
And there's sinker chapter, hook line.
Oh no! All that stuff's probably
Fly
all that stuff's probably going away because that whole section is Venus the Strong Woman, and the only reason I've kept it there is because I'm probably going to use it for something else, so I can go ahead and pull this out.
I also think that we shouldn't be afraid to. I was thinking about this the other day, to almost write like to help pass the time and to help establish little relationships and things and just things that he experiences almost in a vignette form, kind of like Skullface Boy, where it's like, let's drop this thing in here, let's drop this thing in here, where it's not really, it's still linear but not super connected.
Okay.
It's like a
montage,
almost like this little short story, this little flash fiction.
That's kind of what I figured the middle of this was going to be anyways. But we just haven't got to that point yet. That kind of spontaneous, him just kind of bouncing around and experiencing this, just a bunch of slice of life stuff, what it's like at the carnival, so on and so forth. And to some extent,
I didn't realize just how caught up I was. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you're up there,
because I forgot we moved way up.
Yeah,
I thought I had all this stuff to.
No. I'm trying to think of what to call. I guess cannibalized. But put it in my cannibal folder.
Oh shoot! Well, cool. Wow, we're. Dang, I didn't know that.
save that. Okay. I'll probably end up putting that in my other project at some point in time.
Oh, cool. I am totally caught up all the way to later chapters.
Yep. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yep.
Well, except let's see, what is it? What was this one?
I definitely have to
No,
spend.
that's right. Yep.
I got to spend this
Everything.
weekend rereading this whole thing because of the way we're copy and pasting and moving around and having new things. I definitely got to get.
I thought it would be a good idea too. Hopefully we'll have this done this month, before November, so that we can focus on our individual nano things.
Mm-hmm.
Get this out of our mind, and then just come December, whether it be December 1st, mid-December, whatever. I don't know. I know you usually probably wait longer than that. I usually start on my second and third drafts
But I wait
day
longer
after.
than that. I wait longer than that because I want to give myself time to forget what I've written, and so far,
Right.
I mean, everything has changed so much that it doesn't matter.
Well, I
I don't.
thought
We can
we could
jump
go
right
back
back
to it
into
in
it.
December for our second draft. Get out of our heads while we're working on other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then hopefully by the end of the year, maybe have this emailed out.
Yeah, definitely. Schedule later. And I'm throwing together. All right, so I can be here Monday, but I can't be here Tuesday because I
Right.
have a doctor's appointment. So,
I can't remember. Did you settle on a name that you're using?
no, not yet. I need to do that. Um, let's see here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, 9th. Create live stream. Copy. Go ahead and get this before I fucking forget about it, since we're going to be off all weekend.
All right. Well, I'm a lot less stressed out. I didn't realize that I was all caught up.
Oh yeah,
I
that's what
literally
I was
thought I
wondering. I
had
was like, dude, you're
I
you
thought I had like four or five more chapters.
nah.
Yeah, because I forgot that we had moved way up. Okay, so phone call.
Oh no, I didn't do that right. Go back to StreamYard.
So we need a bridge, a big bridge,
Yeah.
to reach from the phone call to Carla's illegal abduction.
Save. Viewer. Shareable link. All right. Monday's stream is on its way to you. And then I'm going to jump back in here. We could also introduce the library. Instead of them being out under the stars, we could have her finally show him the library. Her books.
We could. I'm sorry, man. What were you saying?
Yeah, that's fine. I understand you were working.
What'd you say?
But this could be an opportunity to introduce the library and the book.
Oh yeah,
Instead
yeah,
of
yes,
out
yes,
underneath
yes,
the
yes,
stars.
yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, great. The Edgar Allan Poe talk.
Yep.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep. Because we definitely got to get into that. We got to start building that up because we ain't got much left. We got the next phone call, and then we have the denouement, whatever the fuck it's called. I can unhighlight that. All right, so you're talking about let's see here. You can't sleep here tonight, kid. That stuff. Yeah, we can literally take the All in Good Fun chapter.
Which is what?
Well, hang on here. No. That's after Carla gets snatched. I'm trying to think of where. I guess it's the Everyday is Payday. But that's when he does. That's when it's halfway through that. That he starts talking about he can't sleep there. It's literally. Check out where my cursor is. So we would have to split this chapter in two.
Okay, hang on. What? Why do we?
You were talking about bringing up the section with.
Yeah. Okay,
he can't sleep here.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it would have to split. We would have to really tear apart this section because he's standing there. All right, hang on. It's after he comes out after the confrontation with Buzz.
Yeah. Okay. So we would need okay.
I don't know of all the work to put into this. I don't know. Because it's all mixed up with things that have happened, things that, yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know, dude. Maybe it would be easier just to do a bridge section. Like I was saying, he goes back, he's exhausted. Mingo says, it's you can chill now, you're off or whatever, and then go into the next day, and then start the next day with the raid. Him back over there at the Ferris wheel, then go into the raid, and then in the next chapter, well, in the next bit. Basically just keep everything the way it is and just write a whole new bridge between Down in the Dark and what is this? The First Call. Those two chapters where it says Bridge to Carla's legal abduction. Denuma? Really? Denuma? Damn, denouement. Denuma. See, if it was me, I would just start writing and fix it in post. But I know that's not how you work. So,
well, I do, dude. I did something. I think I've told you this before. There's been maybe 3 or 4 books I've written where I get halfway through, I think of the last paragraph, and I write the first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this thing that I'm doing for NaNoWriMo, I got this great idea, and I've been kind of mapping it out a little bit, taking notes, not doing an outline, but taking some notes. And I'm considering doing an actual outline because I'm going to try to not edit as I go. I'm just going to try to get it out and I'm going to push real hard for that to see if I can start doing that.
Cool.
But I wrote the last 2 lines of the book, which is, a word hasn't been written. And I know that there is another author that I think it's King talks about, or maybe it's Lansdale talks about. Somebody does that.
John Irving. John Irving writes
I think you're right.
He knows the last line before he does anything, and then he works backward.
But I did that, And like I've said, I've done that before, but I had at least half the book written, but I didn't, and I wrote the last 2 lines.
Cool.
Um, but I don't know what made me think that. Oh, so I do. No, I do work like this. It's just that it's been like all over the place for so long, and suddenly it's like, oh, we're all caught up, and then it's like, no, we're not. So I kind of want to fix this before.
Okay.
Um,
It's fine. Whatever. Hey Ishmael, how you
I
doing?
just think that there's a great opportunity here for this evening of the they're not too important to skip over because it's not really about the
Oh no no no! I
carnival.
agree with you. I'm just thinking it should be down. It we should leave everything the way it is, and then you know, and then add that. Literally go right into that section after the very last line down here that says, "With that, he turns and walks off toward the tall woman." And jump to him like going to get in the cab and whatever, trying to sleep, and Sam comes over and is like, um, they start talking or whatever, and he could even be a little more assertive than he normally is, and he said, "So what's this about your library?" And, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like to read, and Mingo mentioned it, and she'd be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever," and then that could start.
Okay, um, so at the point where he says, okay, this transition where he says, all's clear on the Western Front, which
Hang
is
on,
the transition into the
yeah,
library.
okay.
Um, if we could have moved that up in here, like what would be another reason why he would say all's clear? Like Mingo could say, Buzz messed with you all today, or has he messed with you today at all, or um,
Okay, so you're saying from that point, huh?
from that point we can, because I don't know that he
Okay, I
talked
I
about
have a
anything
I
else.
have a wild I have a wild thing. So up here, see here, right at the place where you said bridge to Carla's legal abduction. I say the only thing we do is we go from I hang up the phone and suddenly it's one of the worst days of my life. We go from that, and this is kind of like a Lutzke move, anyways. It would be just jumping into the next scene without telling you what happened the rest of the day. Literally, uh, the next morning, Kay and
Yeah,
uh,
but
are,
what I'm saying, dude, is they have a whole. We're missing out on this giant window where him and like what like I would like he's not like in love, but he's like at this point he's enjoying his thing. But if they've got nothing going on, there's going to be this giant missing window of where they're kind of like Shane. The story of Shane and Sam are kind of like center stage,
mm-hmm, I get that.
and I don't know. I just feel like it's a missed opportunity if we don't have that night
Well, she would be
filled
the
with
thing
them.
is she would be busy this night with her own, build up. Unless you want a whole other day to pass before the carnival opens, she would be busy because she's got to be her ride's fixed, her ride is, put together. She would be busy with that, and then afterwards she's got to do maintenance. There's other things she has to do, turn in tickets. So she's going to be busy this night, unless you want to add in something to where there's a whole other day, but then we're gonna have to go back and change all the stuff. Is like we open at 5,
Okay,
whatever,
so
whatever.
let's. Okay, they got up at what was it, 9 a.m.
It's something like that. It was early. I keep mentioning that Shane doesn't have a watch, so he doesn't know what time it is. He has no basis for time or anything. It's like literally, it's just like where the sun is
Right.
during.
Okay, so he puts together the Ferris wheel for the next 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and then he goes on the
So
run with Carla.
she goes to, yeah. Whereas Sam is left behind. She is doing her thing.
Right.
I mean, how many hours? So you don't think that by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night that she's got the rest of the night off to?
If as long as they're not open that first night, is
Right, they're not.
okay.
No.
So you wanted all right. Yeah, I mean, it's I That's fine. I was just the order of operations here is really I'm just scrolling through it, and there's a lot of stuff. As I see where you're talking about where you wanting to cut it and bring that up. And I don't really have an issue with it. It just feels like it's going to be a lot of work to change the order of operations. Hang on. Um, okay. All right. So you take all's clear on the Western Front, you put it up where you want it, and how we get there is it's literally, it. I'm trying to think. Okay, so they're not open. See, now I'm a bit overwhelmed with the time frame. So give me just a second to process because I'm seeing something. Okay, so it goes from Carla to coming back and having the night free with Sam. And then they could do something like your night under the stars. And then we go to the next night, and after they get done working is when she shows in the library. We could do something like that. We can literally jump from, it's like Sam could come over and ask him when he gets back, hey, Mingo, have you doing anything now? Because it's like, no. He's like, well, I'm done with my stuff. Do you want to just go hang out? I don't know, something like that. And that would give us two character, that relationship building. One before that's a little shorter, and then another one where she actually, like, she comes to terms with how much she is liking him in the under the stars moment. But then
No, I'd stop. I just realized something. I was gonna make it all this work, but it doesn't make sense now because of the box scene. Because the box scene
that's
has
kind of what I was
has a
getting at. It was too much work to.
if that tension, like the first kiss and thing, and which, um, yeah,
That's pretty much what I was getting at with it's going to be a lot of work to split that up and then have another moment where they come so close in the box. I don't
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so all right, so all we need to come up with is what's he doing
Oh,
for.
fucking hell, dude. No, that wouldn't be that night. I was about to say we can do Carla's sending off party. But no, that's not that night. Never mind.
Yeah.
I see the order of operations is already overwhelming. Anyways.
Okay, so everything's in place. We're gonna keep everything in place. Um, we just need like what we should probably have a little bit of fill about like what happened that day. Would you think that the whole place is going to be would they be able to have this up and running with lights going the same day that they got, because they got there like early morning?
Yeah, 100%. They could be open by like 5 or 6, but we do not have to do that.
Yeah, I didn't want it to
yeah,
open. I was just wondering, we could have a scene where they flick the lights. It's this magical moment for Shane. He saw it before, but he saw it when it was loud and
when it was
other
already in
people
progress,
here,
and this one is like,
and now he's been a part of this. This is something that he helped build.
Yeah,
and so
I like
it's kind of like this, this thing come to life that he has a whole different perspective on now.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
He could even be focused on like when everything comes alive and they're testing everything, because they do test everything. When the Ferris wheel comes alive, it's like, I did that.
Mhm.
I made that happen. I had help, of course, but I did that. And be a moment of, that feeling like when you get done with a long, hard day's work and you just feel really fucking good no matter how exhausted you are, because you feel like you accomplished something. That feeling.
Maybe have Sam come up, grab his hand, and put her chin on his shoulder,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, that's good.
she'll instigate it and say, "See what you did," and
Oh yeah.
then he's like, "She's right,
That's
I
that's
did."
a, that's on you. Do that. I want Lutzke to write that. That's good. That's good shit. I like that. Now I just got to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do for the next hour, basically. Um, I could start some kind of quick, montage section where he's just going around. I just don't know what to do. Um, it's like I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, it's hard because it's not really that kind of a book.
the two sections that I want you to write are the only things that need to be written today, which is that moment, the chin on the shoulder, because I think you would absolutely fucking nail that. I'm not great with romance. I never have been. Um, there and then the scene with the library, I think you would absolutely fucking nail too. So that's another thing. So I don't know.
Um,
I mean, I could try the library scene, but I think you got your feet firmly planted in that. And same with the other scene that you just mentioned. You did that, and that's beautiful. That's a beautiful fucking scene.
the one thing that we have that also make for a cool book cover, just this kid standing in the middle of this, kind of
Ooh,
looking up at this
with the
stuff,
girl chin on the shoulder,
or he's alone. I think.
or whatever. Either one,
Yeah.
yeah. Just gazing up at the Ferris wheel. 'Cause
Um,
you got to have a Ferris wheel on the cover of a book like this. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to. It's the staple.
the only thing that's not done from our little outline, which we probably should throw a little more things in our outline, is Shane makes friends with boobs, learns a bit about him, and they seem to hit it off
Oh, I
despite
could
the
do
age
that.
difference.
I could
Boobs
do
gives
something
life
where
lessons.
boobs helps him do the maintenance. I could do that scene. I don't know. I just need it. This is why I worry about just like sitting down and starting writing on this project, because I could go so many different places.
Yeah.
So much freedom.
If you wanted to jump ahead to like, well, what did you leave all your Venus stuff here? Is that
I mean, I have it copied and pasted in a Cannibal file, so I could put it back, but Venus, I don't know if it fits because there's no other performers in this carnival. It's all been concession stands and rides, and games. So there's not been any performers. But I could do something like a one-off with something where the guy who runs the guess your weight, stand comes into play, or any number. There's so many characters that
okay? Is there anybody that after that moment where the lights go on and they're testing things and Shane's having this wonderful magical moment? Is there anywhere where he can walk around and look at all the things? There's anybody who would be rehearsing their gig?
it definitely that well there would be um the concession stand folks usually, and it's one of those things. Another thing with the hierarchy, like the groups, like all the concession stand people hang out together, all the operators hang out together, all the roustabouts all hang out together, that kind of thing. So he could like go, like be a fish out of water in like the concession stand stuff when they could literally be talking about new ways of getting over on. There's all different kinds of stuff that we can do where they would be practicing their spiels or any number of things. Whoever runs the fun house is going to be a barker too. They're going to be standing out there, hollering out, "Hey, this, trying to get people to come in. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, this is the scariest thing you've ever going to be on." That kind of thing.
Because I think it'd
Um,
be a good organic way to introduce the band, so to speak.
okay, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he has this moment where he's kind of walking around, and finally he's seeing people behind the curtain, so to speak, do their thing, and that also kind of introduces some more characters in just which would essentially be like a montage. Like he sees Venus doing her thing, which is what's her thing again?
She's a strong woman.
Okay.
So it was all about her being, her doing the whole scene starts with, but this is back when Shane didn't really have a purpose for us in the carnival. Like, we now know that he's part of the bumper cars and all that stuff, and how that's going to go and putting together the thing. It was more like he was still bouncing around at this point. That's why I got rid of it, because it opens up with Mingo giving him a test exercise of trust, where he has him go around and collect the fees from everybody. And that's how he bumps into Venus. And there's that whole thing. But I'm not sure.
He's this magical moment. He still isn't the bumper car kid.
This is true. This is true. Yeah. So I mean, but I don't know. I would like to do something with the guess your weight guy, because I had a very funny experience with a guess your weight guy, and I was going to use that. He got one number off, and come to find out that the motherfucker had a scale in the straw. Like, it was like a plank that you would stand on, and the fucking thing, and you could literally see the numbers. I just happened to look up, and you could see the numbers in the reflection of the, not hot dog, it was the lemonade concession behind him. You could see the numbers going, but I felt like I was just standing on straw. And he had something in there, and then when he did call it, he was only one number off. So he purposefully changed the number so that, he'd be close enough. But there's also another one of my favorite ones is guessing how many marbles are in the jar. It's a really simple game. You might be aware of it already, but it's just a jar with marbles or jelly beans, and it's whoever gets the number wins whatever big fucking prize they have. But we could do something like that. There's all these little things, but I don't think a performer fits in with this carnival. I think this is more of a one of those situations where the only barkers that we're going to have are the game barkers, maybe the funhouse barker, maybe because also back then, not so much nowadays because it's all digitalized with like machines doing this, but the test your strength machine, the guess your weight,
what about dunk machine?
We can do that too. I mean, that's very. The only thing is, I would like to go back, and this of course is like post work, but I would like to go back and add that, earlier, like he points out that thing is a thing that exists. But yeah, I have experience with that one too. It was at a Ren fair, oddly enough, it was a dunk machine, and it was tomatoes. You had 3 choices. There were 2 targets and then the face in the middle. And you could either hit the targets and drop him down and try to hit him in the face with the tomatoes, because he was also a really bad comedian telling jokes and talking shit about you while you're trying to throw it. So we could do something like that. But that's the beauty about this. There's so many options. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Sean?
There is so many options to do here, and this is the exciting part where we just have to pick and choose what's going on here, But with Southern carnivals, I have noticed that they do not have performers. They tend to only have the concessions, and then what they'll have instead of the performers is they will hire a local band to play on stage. So we could even have something with that. I don't know, but yeah.
Would it be too silly to have in the dunk tank? Maybe even the errands into town could deal with this, like. They go to a local fish place or whatever, and they buy a certain type of fish, maybe a cheap fish, like
goldfish. No, you don't get much cheaper than that.
Right, or minnows or guppies or something, but something bigger to where, and then the whole attraction for the dunk tank is, there are deadly piranha in the water, and there's just these normal fish swimming around that is completely non-threatening.
That's
and it's got paintings like maybe of a guy going like this, and he's got blood around his feet. And
I love it. Yeah, let's do something like that. That's goofy as hell. I love it. That's just fun. It's not really goofy or silly, but that's the kind of thing that's fun. Like come and find out that the lizard mummy in the freak show walkthrough is just a baby doll sewn with a taxidermied like fish or something, or whatever. That's the kind of silliness I like. So that's, like I said, that's up to you, because I'm more along the lines of adding stuff like that than you are. So are you comfortable with that level of silly? If you want to, I think that's a fantastic fucking idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just trying to think of a fish that, because a guppy or minnow, it's so obvious, and it
Well, here
wouldn't.
we go. Cheap pet store fish.
Or we could just call it a different, cousin to the piranha. You know, the
Cousin.
dreaded whatever, and it's some made up fish.
Yeah.
And then Mingo looks at the tank maybe, and he'll be like, he'll say a single goldfish in there and be like, damn it. Because, like when they get the net and they're swimming in the tank with goldfish and they happen
Yeah.
to grab a goldfish at the same time. And so
Okay.
they've got this goldfish in there that would clearly be eaten if these fish were so deadly.
Right. Exactly. Now, do you want to set that up like him and Carla, just like a line, or like Carla's like, okay, now we got to go get the fish, and he's like, what, for like a fish fry or something? He's like, no, 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 we need fish for the dunk tank. It's like, the hell, and then they just end up at a local pet store buying fucking goldfish or whatever. I can't. That, for some odd reason, the only thing coming up for cheap pet store fish are betas, and I know those are not fucking cheap.
Yeah.
So, what is the cheapest fish? We have barbs, uh, tetras, swordtails, mollyfish, algae eaters, beta. Betas are in the top 10 budget-friendly fish. I thought betas were like $100.
No.
I could have swore they were like upper tier shit.
They're also one of those. I mean, you can get
I have
those
no idea.
beta and goldfish. You can win at carnivals, like
Really? Okay.
yeah.
I've never seen that. Death bite guppies. They could catch a bunch of sunfish wherever they're set up. They just have to go to a pond. It's interesting. Sunfish.
Yeah, something like bluegill, sunfish, crappies, but that involves fishing all day at a prime spot. So
Yeah.
I don't think that would work.
Betas
either.
are like $8, dude. I am so out of the loop when it comes to fucking like keeping fish. Like when I was a kid, I remember, goldfish were like $2 or $3, and betas were. I swear, I knew someone with betas, and it's like $100 a fish. Maybe that's just a special type of, I don't know, but
They could just be they could be minnows, but they buy so many of them, and they just they cousin to the piranha, cousin to the gar, something like that, with razor sharp teeth,
yeah.
which by themselves are non-threatening, but get them in a group of 2,000 and look
And
out.
they'll
And then in
strip
the
you
middle
to
of
the
it all is
bone.
like this freaking goldfish in there.
That's so good. That's so good. Okay, so where do we? You're talking about this, the first night. Basically, I'm asking, what am I doing? Because you have two scenes that I personally want you to write. So what do you want to do with?
I mean, we could have the fish store. We could do the fish store scene, or we could just
Okay.
say we ran these errands.
I think. Hang on. Yeah, let's go from the shoe store to a time jump to like after the phone call. It can be like a few hours later. No, or maybe like an hour later. I don't know. Or the last stop of the last stop of our land run is a fish store, and I have no idea why we're here. That kind of thing. I don't know. And then see what that comes of that naturally. I don't know. I do like the idea of the whatever fish in this fish tank, and Shane having no idea why the fuck they're buying fish. Like,
Except for I wouldn't emphasize, like we all know he doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everything he's experiencing is brand new to him.
Mhm.
He's just kind of
you
along
can have
for
an
the
inner
ride.
thought about what the fuck are we gonna do with fish, but and he's getting so many of them. I can't I can't imagine that. It's just inner thought, not him actually questioning it. It's like he's
Or
at
he
this
could,
point.
he could ask her, what do we? Yeah, I mean, it seems plausible. It's like, we're on the road. Why are we buying 2,000 minnows?
Yeah. And she go literally like, all right, we got one more place to go, and they end up at a pet store, and she's like, do you have our order? And it's like, I'm with Mingo's, I'm with Mingo's operation. Do you have our order? And it's like, you know how long it took me to get this? I'm glad you guys called ahead or something like that. And it's literally 10,000 minnows, like just like one huge like fucking trash bag full of fish. I don't know, maybe that's too goofy,
Or maybe
but
they don't place an order. They go in there thinking they can grab, 1,000, 2,000 of these fish, and they're like, well, we don't have that, and so maybe they got to make do. Well, what's that? We'll throw some of those in there too. So
okay, yeah,
the hopefully it's a little dry, the humor. So hopefully people will find the humor in the fact that there are also goldfish in this
yeah,
tank
in
that
the
are not
piranha
being
tank,
eaten.
yeah. And then like the last line could be like, like what are we getting these for? Is like, I don't know. It's like they're for the piranha tank or something like that. I don't know. And may this is this thought in his head like, okay, this must be what the piranha eat, but I haven't. I don't know. Uh, I could have fun with that. I just don't know. Hang on. Let me try something. If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll have this weekend to goof off. So this is bold. Gone fishing. Really confused the readers. Like, wait, what? They're going fishing? Yeah. Hmm.
I'm going to be writing directly underneath you.
Yeah, I know. I just noticed that.
Oops.
Jesus Christ. Well, that could be a plot point. Not a plot point, but
Dude,
Huh.
having some lunch. End up over on Goodreads, looking through some reviews. Check out this 2-star review for Wallflower.
Oh boy.
The style and editing are horrible. The
Mm.
language is very poor and the book lacks depth.
Uh,
Feels like a Wattpad story written on a phone screen. I don't understand why the ratings are so high. There are definitely much better books on the topic.
Someone got mad. Someone was in their feelings over that one.
Yeah. Anna.
Anna?
Yeah.
Anna needs a Coke and a smile.
Oh, she lives in Germany. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Germany didn't like me. That's for damn sure.
She also two-starred Carolyn Kepnes's You.
Anna, you need some more taste, hon.
It's
You need some better taste.
3 stars for The Girl Next Door.
Ooh,
1 star for Adam Neville's The Ritual.
fair. No, I'm just kidding.
I haven't read it. I saw the
I did.
movie.
I like the movie, but I don't like Neville's writing.
The movie?
If you ever want, Adam Neville is responsible for one of the worst audiobooks ever fucking manufactured, ever produced of all time. It's his. I almost want to like buy it for you just so you can listen to it. It's called The Reddening, and literally the narrator changes his accent every single time. Sometimes it's in like a really bad British accent because it's an American that narrates it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a really bad British accent. Sometimes it's like, what is it, Scouse, or it's like Scottish or Irish. Sometimes it's more Welsh. Sometimes it's literally just American accent. Like, he doesn't even try. There's some characters that, anyways, it's absolutely terrible. And you can hear some production stuff. Like, one of the things that audiobook narrators will do is when they make a mistake, they'll go like that so you see the peaks on the editing, so you know where to cut and chop and whatnot. And there's some of those left in. I can't say much because I had Life After Dane has like 1 or 2 of those also. But that's because she re-uploaded after I already approved. She said, hang on, I got to change some stuff, re-uploaded it. And then I only listened to what she changed. And we ended up with those in there. But anyways, there numerous times, like over 10 times, you can hear him go, and then he'll read the same line over again and in a different way.
Wow.
It is the worst.
How did that pass through ACX?
I have no idea, dude. No idea whatsoever. But if you ever get a chance to listen to it, please do, because it is hilarious how bad it is. It all happens in the UK. Sometimes there's accents, sometimes there's not. I don't think ACX really cares what is in there as long as it fits the audio quality that they're looking for, like a certain hertz or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, I think as long as it meets their parameters, you're fine. They don't actually listen to the whole damn thing. But yeah, it's a fucking mess. In fact, another thing is, it's funny because I just got a comment on my review of The Reddening that said I really like this book. That's all he said, and my entire rant was about the audiobook. Now the book itself is probably amazing, but I literally don't remember anything that happened because I kept laughing at the production quality. Anyways, and I'm not the only one who had an issue with it.
I'm sure
the reviews are all over the place over there. You can tell the fanboys and whatnot, but there's also the other side of the spectrum where it's either like 5 stars glowing reviews or 1 stars. This production is terrible.
The single worst. Well, real quick, I have a funny ACX story.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 70-something-year-old gentleman do Stirring the Sheets. Phenomenal job. He's a Hollywood character actor. You'd be hard pressed to find a drama from the 70s that he was not in. From freaking Kojak to Dragnet, freaking Falcon's Crest, Dallas. As a matter of fact, I was watching Dallas. I think I told you last year, a year ago or 2. I was watching I went on this Dallas
that
binge.
Conversation. Yeah,
and I saw him pop on the screen as J.R. wife's doctor through her pregnancy, and I was like, that's Michael. Anyway,
that's cool.
God bless him. I kept hearing mouse clicks where he was pausing or doing something, and because this was one of my first audiobooks, I made sure I read along, and I still do that. I think I've got 8 or 9 audiobooks now, and I still, I think the last one I didn't follow along with the book, I just listened to it, but I always usually follow along with the book. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I kept hearing these clicks. This poor guy could not hear them. And I'm like, oh. And I finally dawned on me, and I had to say, dude, I think it's because you're old.
Yeah, I think your hearing's going, dude.
It's your ears are not picking up on the frequency of this.
Right, yeah.
And the only reason why I even knew about that is because my kids had a app on their phone that they were trying to mess with people with, where you can almost like a dog whistle effect, where they could set an alarm and hide the phone somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
only certain people can hear the frequency.
Yeah.
And once you get a certain age, and so I think he just wasn't. And I'm like, trust me, this spot, and I gave him all the timestamps.
Right. Yeah.
Trust me, it's there. You might
Yeah.
not be able to hear it, but it's there. But the worst edited book I've ever read in my life was actually. Let's see, I can get it without spilling all my crap.
The only story I have like that is What the Dark Brings. The dude had car sounds outside of his apartment while he was recording, and we left it in because it actually fit where it was. I asked him, I was like, did you mean to put that in there because someone's standing by an interstate at this point in time? Did you mean to put that in there? And he's like, no, that's just the sound of the road outside of my house. Do you want me to take it out? I was like, no, it actually fits. And then that same person they wrote their own music and put the music in it too. It was really cool.
This is the absolute worst edited book I've ever read in my entire life, and it's not Dallas's fault at
Yeah.
all. I don't think the original book is, but this is a 47 North, which I think is
It's
an imprint
Amazon.
of Amazon.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, I have never. I've had to, because I can't remember, but I had to look up on my review on Goodreads. Just a few of the examples in here are many times it'll say like "die" when it's supposed to say "the."
Yeah. Somebody did a copy replace.
Instead of the word "I'll," like "I will," I
Yeah.
apostrophe LL, is spelled 3 different ways in the book within just a handful of pages. One way it's spelled with 3 L's.
Mhm.
Another way it's spelled TLL, and another way it's spelled 111.
Yeah. 47
There's
North.
some other ones in here. There was a consistency thing where this thing run in the woods was a squirrel, and then a paragraph later it was a rabbit being chased. I don't. This is not Dallas's fault. I don't know who got a hold of the.
I'm trying. I'm about to explain it to you. The same thing happened with Dick, with Richard Lehman. 47 North acquired all of his books, and they literally run them through their AI. Well, it wasn't really. It's like Grammarly. They ran it.
Sounds
through
like AI.
Yeah. They run it
Something
through.
like that, yeah.
They run it through another editing program, and then no one proofreads it because it's all automated. Their entire process is automated. They use something that's a little bit better. It's called Pro Writing Aid. It's not Grammarly, but they use Pro Writing Aid to fix all this stuff.
Right.
And then they just put it out. But the problem is they are using the old drafts because Leisure, when they closed, they did not send the final drafts with them. They had to get that stuff from either the estates or the authors or whatever. And they are republishing this stuff that Leisure was published, but they don't have the finished manuscripts. So in situations like with either Dallas didn't want to go back and fix it, or with Dick was dead. Dick's been dead since 2001. So what they literally just took the manuscripts. They have the rights to the books. They didn't have the manuscripts, so they're getting the original copies wherever they might be, either having people type them back up or having them scanned. That's most of what's going on. You can actually tell in the ebooks that they have been, especially with Dick stuff, you can tell it's scanned. Or they will scan the manuscript and literally put it in there like that. But yeah, that's what's happening. They use the Pro Writing Aid to go in there and fuck it up, and then also they are using in some cases like Tom Pizzarelli's, they're using the rough drafts because that's the only version that Tom had. You know, the publishers had the final drafts, and they actually own the final draft because they paid for all the editing and everything. So that's what you're seeing. That's what's happening. It's unfortunate.
Surprising that Amazon themselves would do something like that because
they don't.
I know that they understand a customer base, and they understand and they want to have happy customers because then you have a better, bigger business. And so I'm surprised that they would even allow, especially considering back in the day, all Amazon was a bookstore.
Yeah, I know. And he started by running it out of his garage. I understand what you're saying, but it's also a matter of saturation, and it's also a matter of having the illusion of having a bookstore. It's like we own all these things. And as long as we have enough of it, we're going to have something for everyone, kind of thing. Because when Leisure went under, Amazon swooped in and bought all that shit. And then same thing. I don't. Well, every single thing that was published through Leisure, if it had a working contract, then that contract was moved over to Amazon. Amazon sometimes made deals with the authors who were still around, but most of the time, what they would do is they would just take the rough draft that the estate or the author had, and they would just run it through their own software just to clean it up enough to make it viable. But they know they're also not going to make a shit ton of money off of people like Dallas and Dick. They're not going to. They're going to sell maybe 100 200 copies within a year, maybe more sometimes when things get popular or movie adaptation or whatever. But for the most part, they understand that they're not selling Stephen King numbers. They're not selling John Grisham numbers. They're not selling Caroline Kepnes numbers. What they're doing is they're selling to a very specific subset of people, and a lot of those people don't give a fuck. Because I would say for every all the negative reviews that book's getting, there are plenty of people out there either A, still buying the book just because it's got his name on it, or B, there are people that don't care about that kind of thing and they just want the story. There's a lot more of that nowadays, especially with text speak and all that stuff. People just don't care about errors like they used to.
Yeah. Well, good book. I don't want to discourage anybody
definitely,
from reading it.
definitely.
Just don't get the 47 North copy.
Yeah, try to find the old Leisure copy. If it's one thing Leisure did, their books were clean as fuck.
I don't know if this is strictly 47 North cover, but this is
no. That's the old Leisure cover.
Okay, well,
because
just
they
look for
also
that and
bought,
do not buy it.
Yeah, they also bought all the
paperback.
covers. That's why all of Dick's books all have the same covers from back when they were with Leisure, because they bought everything, the rights to everything. I don't recall those issues on that edition of Red. Do you have the big one or do you have the old Leisure edition? Because yeah, Leisure books were clean as fuck. That what he has is not a Leisure print at all. First off, it's twice as large. It's
it's
trade paperback versus a mass market paperback. But anyways, yeah. All right. Only got 27 minutes left. I got to finish this. Okay. I guess I'm done. I ain't done much. We talked a lot, but I'm done. Then no point in even going on. Hey, Sentry, I'm sorry. Sorry I missed you. I finally fished the Dark Tower yesterday on my birthday. Can you believe it? The ending had me broken for quite a bit when you really think about it afterwards. Hence it worked. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I love the ending of some people don't like it, but I love it. But the reviews mentioned those issues I just didn't realize before buying. Still an amazing book and interesting background regarding those editions. Yeah, Pedro. Yeah, Amazon swooped in when Leisure collapsed, and it was a feeding frenzy, is what it was. Some other places bought it, but eventually Amazon ended up with all of the stuff that Leisure still had contracts for. They still owned, ended up going to Amazon. Then there were some people who took their rights back and decided to let Amazon have it anyways. Your edition has the novella The Passenger. I don't know.
Yeah, so does mine.
Yeah, I don't know which edition I have. Anyways. All right, so that's everything for today, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Chad, you got anything you want to talk about before we go? Anything you want to say?
I might as well plug this.
Yeah, plug it. Let's go.
This is out. It's a flash fiction anthology that just came out through Crystal Lake Publishing called Shallow Waters. Horror flash fiction. I don't know. I don't know most of the names in here. Not any huge names, I don't think. Tim Meyer's in here.
Yeah.
Armand Rosamilia.
I recognize the editor, Joe Meinhardt.
Yeah, there are
You're welcome, Pedro.
like 100 stories in here. There's a lot in here.
It's got to be flash fiction. I was surprised at how thick. I was surprised when you said flash fiction and it was that thick. So
Yes, it is. It is fairly big. But my I got a story in here that actually opens the thing.
Holy shit!
It's called "Closure on a Bed of Nails,"
Nice.
and it's super sad. So that's available now.
Yeah, go buy Shallow Waters, everybody. Edited by Joe Meinhardt, and with the opening story from Mr. Lutzke. Yeah. And if that is everything, y'all have a great day and enjoy your spaghetti dreams. We won't be back until Monday morning, and then I won't be here Tuesday, but we'll talk about that Monday. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.